Hello and welcome to this video. It's going to be about Orbis. So Orbis is a pretty cool mod. It's like a building mod. To get into Orbis you have to do game mode 4 and you get this menu. And what you can do is it's got a cool feature that if you place blocks, I can press Ctrl Z and it'll get rid of them all. And that's because here we're in this creative tab here. So that's pretty fun. So what you can do with this mod is pretty extensive actually. It's basically like world edit. So let's start off with doing a fill, and we'll just drag a box and we can make it out of stone, or I could choose lapis, make it out of lapis, or I could go combine blocks, make it out of lapis and stone. Press this, get this block, and now if we have it selected, it's made out of lapis and stone. Now if we wanted to increase the frequency, what we could do is we could go to combine blocks again, and instead of having, let's do, for instance, say we wanted to have a ratio of 5:1. Then in the combine blocks menu we can put a 5:1 here, and we'll take this, and you'll notice it renders differently. So if we draw the box now, you see it's the majority is lapis. What we can also do is, if we go to combine blocks, we can do change per position. So you can see, because I've got a 50-50 ratio here, well, that's there we go. We finally got one. That was just very unlucky. But you see, it will just choose one randomly from the palette. If we wanted to replace all this stone with a different block, so we wanted to replace the stone with sandstone, we could go to replace, select the sandstone, and what we'd want to do is we want to replace only the lapis. So we'll select this. So that's how you would replace it. And you can use this again, you can use the palettes. So you could replace a palette with a palette. So for instance, you could replace a palette with lapis and stone with sandstone and sand, or whatever you wanted. So you can use multiple settings in both what you're replacing and what you're replacing with. There's also the ability to go to the Orbis dimension. So once you're in the actual Orbis dimension, what you can do is you can actually change the floor to any color you want. And this is like just this is like a way to build easily. So there we go, something like that. Okay, so what I want to do here is I'm going to select the cone shape. We're going to go for centered, and we're going to go to fill. And I'm going to use, for this I'm going to just use night slime. It won't actually matter which block I use, as you'll see in a moment. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to go up. Say to about 85 height. You can see this is going to make this lovely shape here. Then what I'm going to do is Ctrl Z. And you'll see it's actually removed the shape, but because it went into the ground, you can see you get these lovely curves here, right? So that's a really, really cool thing to do. And you could make these are curves that I used to love drawing when I was younger, because what they are is I always liked how you would connect up, because the curve that gets created is, if say you have the point here which is like 1, and then you connect it to 20, and then you do 2 and connect it to 19, and what you would end up with would be a curve like this, right? And it was really cool because because x plus y would always equal the same number, and I always liked that. And that's a really cool shape to get. And that's very, it's quite difficult actually to get that otherwise. Okay, let's try and use this. This is the delete one here. So what I might want to do is switch it over to a cuboid and we'll do a uniform cuboid here. So what if I try and do like a plus here in the middle? So we'll go here, go out to there. Make sure we end here, there. Okay, didn't seem to get the whole thing. I guess there might be a limit to how many you can do here. Not to worry though. Let's see what we can do. Let me get rid of that. Okay, so I don't think the uniform is the one. Let's do let's just stick to non-uniform, which is the default. Okay. Alright, so we'll just do a non-uniform, so we'll go here. I should better start from here. We'll have to, I always forget you have to hold it down. And let's just go here. Go all the way back. Let's see if we can get it this time. There we go. That's more like it. So we do something like this. You see, because we routed it here, it should be perfect. Oh, what? Whoa. That looks awesome. Because of the connected textures as well. But let's try with something with the line tool, actually. I was curious about that one. We go to line. Let's try it like this length. Kind of interesting.